The necklace is more than jewelry. It becomes a symbol of trust, honesty, and the choices we make when no one is watching. A necklace may shine with silver or sparkle with gems, but its true value is never in the stone or the metal. Its value comes from what it represents. In every culture, across every land, people have worn necklaces not just for beauty, but as a sign of something greater, a bond of love, a promise of loyalty, a reminder of who they are. And when such a thing is lost, or when it falls into the wrong hands, it becomes a test of character. You see, trust is one of the rarest treasures a person can hold. It is not bought in the marketplace, and it cannot be stored in a bank. It is given freely and willingly when someone believes in you. A necklace in a story might seem like a simple trinket, but when it is lost and someone finds it, that person stands at a crossroads. They can choose the path of honesty and return it, or they can choose the path of selfishness and keep it hidden. In that moment, the necklace becomes a mirror of the soul, revealing what lies deep within. Every one of us faces moments like that, not always with a necklace, not always with something glittering and small, but with decisions that seem ordinary, unnoticed by the world. It may be the choice to tell the truth when a lie would be easier. It may be the choice to give back what is not yours, even if no one would ever know you kept it. It may be the choice to stand by a promise, even when it costs you something. These are the hidden tests of life, and they define who we really are. When no one is watching, that is when our true character speaks. It is easy to look honest when the crowd is cheering, when the cameras are rolling, when every eye is upon you. But what about when the lights go out, when the room is empty, when only you know what you are doing? That is the proving ground of integrity. That is where a necklace ceases to be a piece of jewelry and becomes the test of a heart. I have met people who gained wealth but lost trust, who built lives of comfort but could never sleep in peace. Why? Because they chose dishonesty in secret, and though the world never saw, their conscience saw, and the conscience never forgets. A necklace taken and hidden away may not be heavy in the hand, but it becomes heavy on the soul. It weighs you down with guilt, with fear of discovery, with the knowledge that you chose wrong when you could have chosen right. But there is another path. There is the path of honesty, the path of trust. When you return what is not yours, when you speak truth though it costs you, when you live as if every moment were seen by the eyes of the one who knows all, you walk free. That freedom cannot be bought with silver or gold. It shines brighter than any jewel. It gives rest to the heart, peace to the mind, strength to the soul. And make no mistake, honesty is noticed. Even if you think no one is watching, the world has a way of discovering the character of a man or a woman. A necklace returned becomes a testimony, a story passed down, a lesson that others remember. People may forget what you owned, but they will not forget how you lived. They will not forget the integrity that marked your choices. So I say again, the necklace is more than jewelry. It is a symbol. It is a picture of the choices that stand before us every day, to take or to give, to deceive or to speak truth, to live for self or to live with honor. And though the world may never know the quiet decisions you make in the hidden places of your life, those decisions shape your destiny. They shape your relationships. They shape your soul. The necklace is more than metal, more than a chain, more than a sparkling stone. It is the test of trust, the weight of honesty, the proving ground of choices made in secret. And when you choose the path of truth, you discover that the real treasure was never hanging from a chain around your neck. The real treasure is a heart that is clean, a conscience that is free, and a life that shines with integrity. Every story carries a seed of truth, a lesson that can guide your life if you listen with your heart as well as your ears. A necklace might seem like a small thing, a piece of silver or gold that shines in the light, but when it is lost, it reminds us of something greater. It reminds us that every life, every choice, every word we speak carries meaning. You see, when you hear the words of a story, you aren't just hearing sentences strung together. You are being invited into a world where truth is hidden like a treasure, waiting to be discovered by those who will pay attention. The mind can listen, but it is the heart that truly hears. Many people spend years studying words, learning grammar, practicing pronunciation, but they never stop to ask, what does this story mean for me? Stories were never given simply to pass the time. They were given to awaken something inside of us. The story of a lost necklace is not about jewelry alone. It's about the moment when something precious slips away, and the lesson that rises from the loss. That lesson is not trapped in the necklace itself. It is alive in the heart of the one who listens. Think about your own life. How many times have you lost something that you thought was small, only to discover that its absence left a deep mark on your heart? Maybe it was a moment you let slip by without saying the words you needed to say. Maybe it was a friend you took for granted until the friendship was gone. Or maybe it was an opportunity that passed and you realized too late what it could have meant. These moments are like lost necklaces. They shine for a time, and when they are gone, we finally see their value. And isn't that the way truth often comes to us? Not in grand speeches or mighty announcements, but in small, quiet losses that whisper to us about what really matters. The story of a necklace, simple as it may be, can teach us about honesty, about trust, about the weight of responsibility. If we listen only with our ears, we may hear nothing more than a tale of a trinket misplaced. But if we listen with our hearts, we begin to hear something deeper, a call to live with integrity, to treasure what we have before it is gone, to treat the people in our lives as the priceless jewels they truly are. Every story is a mirror. When you look into it, you don't just see characters and settings, you see yourself. You hear your own struggles, your own choices, your own victories and failures reflected back at you. The seed of truth hidden in the story takes root when you allow it to speak to your life. That's why I say, don't just listen for the words. Listen for the truth behind the words. Listen for the seed that is waiting to be planted in your heart. Because that seed, once it takes root, can grow into strength, into wisdom, into a new way of living. Some people will laugh at stories, saying they are just entertainment, nothing more than a way to pass an idle evening. But they are wrong. Stories carry the truths of life from one generation to the next. They are how parents teach their children. They are how cultures preserve their wisdom. They are how one soul reaches another across time and space. And when you listen, when you really listen, you become part of that long line of people who have been shaped by the lessons of those who came before you. So I tell you again, every story carries a seed of truth. It may be hidden under laughter, it may be wrapped in sorrow, it may be disguised in a necklace lost and found, but it is there. And if you will listen, not only with your ears but with your heart, you will discover that the story was never just about the necklace. It was about you. It was about your life, your choices, your future. That is the power of a story. That is the gift it offers. And if you will receive it, that seed of truth will grow in you, and it will guide your steps in ways you never thought possible. The story is waiting, the truth is calling, and the seed is ready to be planted. Will you let it grow? Simple words can hold deep meaning. Learning English isn't just about grammar. It's about catching the spirit behind the words. Too often, people think language is only about rules. They measure their progress by how perfectly they can place a verb, or how accurately they can pronounce a syllable. And yes, grammar matters and pronunciation matters. But there is something far greater, something far deeper than the rules alone. Words are not just lines on a page. They are carriers of meaning, of emotion, of truth. And if you listen carefully, you will find that even the simplest words can open doors to wisdom. Think about the words thank you, two small words, simple enough that a child can say them. But behind those words lies gratitude, a recognition that someone has given you something you could not give yourself. Think about the words I'm sorry, just two words again, yet they carry the weight of humility, the courage to admit wrong, and the hope of reconciliation. Or the words I forgive. No grammar book in the world can capture the power of those words when they are spoken from the heart. They are not just sentences, they are bridges that connect one life to another. That is why learning English, or any language, is not just about memorizing rules and passing exams. It is about learning to hear the heartbeat behind the words. You can recite grammar all day long, but if you do not feel the weight of gratitude in thank you, if you do not sense the healing in I forgive, then the words will never come alive for you. To truly learn a language, you must learn to listen with your heart as much as with your ears. A story like the one about the lost necklace proves this truth. On the surface, it seems like a tale about an object misplaced and then found. But if you only see the necklace, you miss the lesson. You must hear the voice of honesty, the cry for integrity, the whisper of trust woven through those simple sentences. The meaning is not in the grammar, the meaning is in the spirit behind the words. I want you to think for a moment about the conversations in your own life. How many times has someone said a simple phrase that stayed with you for years? Perhaps a mother whispering, I love you. Perhaps a teacher saying, I believe in you. Perhaps a friend reminding you you are not alone. These are not complicated statements. They do not need advanced vocabulary or complex grammar, but they carry the power to heal, to inspire, to change the course of a life, and so it is with learning English. Do not be discouraged if you stumble over grammar rules. Do not be ashamed if your accent is not perfect. What matters most is that you learn to speak with sincerity, that you learn to listen for the meaning, that you catch the spirit of the words. Because when you do, even the simplest phrase you speak will touch the hearts of those who hear it. Simple words are the building blocks of great truths. Think of the words faith, hope, love, just 4 letters or 5 or 6. Small words, easy words, but no one can deny their power. They are the words that lift the weary, that strengthen the weak, that remind us life is more than the struggle of today. And when you grasp their meaning, when you let them sink into your heart, you begin to understand that learning a language is not about filling your head with facts. It is about filling your life with truths that can be shared with others. Every language learner faces moments of frustration, moments when the rules seem overwhelming. But remember this, children learn to speak not by studying grammar first, but by hearing the spirit of the words spoken around them. They feel the warmth in good morning. They sense the care in be careful. They catch the joy in well done. And because they listen with their hearts, they grow into the language with strength and confidence. You can do the same. Do not chase perfection in rules alone. Chase understanding, chase meaning, chase the spirit behind the words. For when you do, you will discover that even the simplest words you speak in English will shine with power, not because they are flawless, but because they are true. Simple words can hold deep meaning, and when you catch that meaning, when you feel the spirit behind them, your English will not only improve, it will come alive. Loss teaches value. We often discover how precious something is only when it slips from our hands. That is one of the hardest truths of life, yet one of the clearest lessons we can ever learn. As long as we have something, we often take it for granted. We assume it will always be there, always within reach, always ours to hold. But when it is gone suddenly, quietly, without warning, That is when our eyes are opened to see what we should have cherished all along. Think of the necklace in the story. While it hangs around the neck, it is admired but not truly considered. It is part of the everyday, just another object to be worn. But when it is lost, suddenly every corner is searched, every memory is stirred, every heartbeat quickens with the thought of finding it again. What changed? The necklace was the same before and after it was lost. The change was in the heart of the one who no longer had it. Loss has a way of sharpening the value of what was once overlooked, and so it is with life. How many times do we pass through our days without noticing the blessings around us, the family at the table, the friends who stand by us, the health that allows us to rise in the morning, the opportunities that greet us with each new day? They are necklaces hanging quietly around our necks, and yet, so often, we fail to see them until they are gone. Only when a chair at the table sits empty do we realize what it meant to hear that voice, that laugh, that presence. Only when health fades do we understand the treasure of simple strength. Only when time slips through our fingers do we know how much was given to us and how little we treasured it. Loss is a teacher that speaks a language louder than words. It tells us, hold close the people you love. Do not wait to speak kindness. Do not delay in showing gratitude. Do not assume tomorrow will look like today. A loss teaches us urgency, not the rush of busyness, but the urgency of cherishing what matters before it is too late. Some may say, why must we lose to learn? And I cannot answer why life often works that way, but I can tell you this, though loss wounds the heart, it also opens the eyes, it awakens gratitude, it strips away the pride that thinks everything is owed to us. It reminds us that nothing in this world is permanent, and because of that, everything is precious. Even a simple object like a necklace can carry this lesson. When it is lost, it stirs regret. When it is found, it stirs joy. And in between, while it is missing, it stirs reflection. The same is true in our lives. Loss calls us to reflect. It calls us to remember what truly matters. It calls us to live differently, not clinging to things as if they will last forever, but loving them deeply while they are ours to hold. And perhaps that is the greater gift hidden inside loss. It is not only a teacher of value, but a reminder of perspective. We learn that wealth is not measured in gold, but in relationships. Success is not measured in titles, but in moments of love and kindness shared. Strength is not measured in power, but in the grace we show when life takes something from our hands. There is a kind of wisdom that only comes through loss. It softens the heart. It humbles the spirit. It deepens compassion for others who walk the same path. When you have known loss, you learn to weep with those who weep. You learn to sit quietly with someone in their sorrow, because you understand that no words are needed. That wisdom, though born in pain, becomes a gift to the world. Loss teaches value. It teaches us that nothing should be overlooked, nothing should be taken lightly, nothing should be assumed. It urges us to live today as if it were the only day we had, to love people as if this were the last chance we could tell them so, to hold each blessing as if it might be gone by tomorrow, because the truth is, it might. So do not wait until loss comes knocking at your door. Do not wait until the necklace slips from your hands. Learn the lesson now. Open your eyes now. Treasure what you have now. Because when you do, you will find that the real gift of loss is not only in teaching us value after something is gone, but in preparing us to cherish life while it is still here. Finding the necklace is not the end. It is a beginning, a chance to rise stronger, wiser, and more grateful. Too often we think the end of a story comes when what was lost is finally found. We sigh with relief, we close the book, and we move on. But life is not written that way. Life teaches us that every recovery, every restoration, every victory is not the closing chapter. It is the opening of a new one. The necklace may be back in our hands, but the lesson it carried must now live in our hearts. When something is lost, we go through struggle. We search, we worry, we wonder if it will ever return. That process changes us, and when the lost thing is finally found, the story does not return us to who we were before. We are not the same as we once were. We have walked through longing, through regret, through hope. We have tasted the weight of loss, and we have felt the relief of recovery. That experience shapes us. And so when the necklace is found, it is not simply restored as an object. It is reborn as a symbol of wisdom, of strength, of gratitude. Think about how we often live before loss touches us. We move quickly, distracted, careless with the blessings we hold. We treat things as common, people as ordinary, opportunities as endless. But once we lose and once we find again, we see differently. We understand the fragility of what we once thought permanent. We understand the weight of each gift we have been given. And so the recovery becomes a beginning, a call to live with eyes open, hearts softened, spirits humbled. Finding the necklace also teaches us resilience. The one who searched for it did not give up. They pressed on, they endured the discouragement, they kept looking even when hope ran low. That perseverance changes a person, and when the search ends in success, the lesson is clear. If you can endure through the loss of a necklace, you can endure through other trials as well. The strength built in one struggle becomes the strength to face the next. The necklace is back, yes, but the real treasure is the courage that was forged along the way, and then there is gratitude. Before the necklace was lost, it may have been admired, but was it truly cherished? Probably not. After it is found, it is held with new hands, hands that tremble a little, hands that understand its worth, hands that will not so easily take it for granted again. That is the gift of restoration. It teaches us to be thankful not only for what we recover, but for all that we still have. Gratitude takes root in the soil of loss, and once it grows, it can transform the way we live each day. The truth is, every one of us has lost something, and every one of us will find something again. The question is not whether we will experience loss and recovery. The question is what we will do with the lessons they bring. Will we return to life unchanged, still careless, still blind to the gifts before us? Or will we rise stronger, wiser, and more grateful? Will we see each moment as precious, each relationship as irreplaceable, each opportunity as fleeting and worthy of our best? When the necklace is found, the story is not over. It is a beginning. It is the moment where the searcher steps into a new chapter with deeper understanding and a renewed heart, and that is true for us as well. Every time something is restored to us, we are given a choice. We can celebrate the object and forget the lesson, or we can carry forward the strength, the wisdom, the gratitude that came with the journey. So do not think of recovery as the end. Think of it as the starting line. Think of it as the first step into a better way of living, a higher way of seeing, a richer way of loving. Because the necklace, once found, is more than a piece of jewelry. It is a reminder that life is not measured by what we hold in our hands, but by what we carry in our hearts. And when we choose to live with that truth, then every ending becomes a beginning, and every beginning carries the promise of a brighter tomorrow. Your voice is the treasure. As you practice, you'll find that speaking English with courage and confidence is like wearing a crown no one can take away. We often search for treasures outside ourselves. We look for wealth, for recognition, for possessions that shine in the light. But the greatest treasure is not something you can hold in your hand. It is something that comes from within. It is your voice. It is the sound of your thoughts, your hopes, your convictions given life through words. And when you learn to use that voice with courage, when you train it to speak clearly and with confidence, you discover a treasure greater than gold. The necklace in the story may symbolize trust and honesty, but your voice carries something even more valuable: your identity. It tells the world who you are. Every time you speak, you are not just arranging grammar, you are sharing yourself. You are declaring, "This is my thought, this is my belief, this is my story." That is why practicing English is not only about language, it is about unlocking your own treasure, letting your voice rise strong and unafraid. At first, your voice may tremble. You may feel uncertain. You may wonder if others will laugh, if they will notice every mistake, if your accent will make you sound different. But let me tell you, different is not wrong. Different is beautiful. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is speaking even when fear is present. And every time you open your mouth, every time you push past hesitation, your voice grows stronger, clearer, freer. Think of a crown. A crown is a sign of dignity, of honor, of authority. It is placed upon the head of a king or queen to show that they carry weight, that their presence matters. And when you find your voice, when you use it with courage, it is like wearing that crown. No one can take it from you. People may argue with your words, they may disagree with your thoughts, but they cannot strip away the treasure of your voice. It belongs to you, and when it speaks with truth, it shines with power. You may not feel that power yet. You may think, "My English is broken. My sentences are small. My words are too simple." But remember what we said before. Simple words can hold deep meaning. It is not about how complicated your grammar is. It is about whether you speak with sincerity. A child's voice, filled with honesty, can pierce the heart more than the clever words of a scholar. Your treasure is not perfection. Your treasure is authenticity. Speak with courage, and the crown will shine. Every great speaker you admire once stood where you stand now. They stumbled over words, they mispronounced, they felt fear, but they did not stay there. They practiced, they kept speaking, even when it felt hard, and slowly their voice grew into the treasure it was meant to be. That same path is open for you. If you will practice faithfully, if you will speak boldly, if you will trust that your voice has value, you too will wear the crown of confidence that no one can take away. And let me remind you, your voice is not just for you. It is a gift to others. When you speak with courage, you encourage someone else. When you share your story, you inspire another who feels silent. When you speak truth, you build trust. Your voice may be the key that unlocks courage in another person's heart. That is why it is a treasure, because it multiplies when shared. The more you use it, the more valuable it becomes, not just to you, but to everyone who hears it. So do not bury your voice in silence. Do not hide it in fear. Lift it up, practice it, strengthen it, use it, and as you do, remember this: no one else in the world has your voice. No one else can say your words in the way you can. That is what makes it priceless. Your voice is the treasure, and when you learn to speak with courage and confidence, it will shine like a crown upon your life, a crown no one can take away. Thank you for joining me in this story today. Remember, every word carries truth. Every choice reveals character, and even simple phrases can change a life. Loss can teach us, finding can renew us, and your voice is the greatest treasure you carry. Keep practicing, keep growing, and let these lessons shape the way you live and speak. If this message touched you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share so more hearts can hear it too.